Alright, hey, what's going on, everybody? And today, finally, sadly, I'm an Xbox One user, and we just now getting this just not getting this demo. But today, I actually wanted to actually discuss a few things about Resident Evil 7. Seeing how it is coming out in the 24th or 27th. I don't know if it's coming out for the same day as the other regions. I don't know if it's coming out for the Xbox One and for the PS4 on the same day. I don't know personally, but I do know this: I am super hyped for Resident Evil 7, and honestly, I just really want to discuss a few things that I kind of want to that I kind of I'm my hopes for Resident Evil 7. The things I hope to see in Resident Evil, because as we see, this isn't a full blown reboot, but it sort of kind of is really different from the rest of them. And in my opinion, I feel as though it really needed that. Sadly, 6 came out. If you play 6, I mean, I don't know what to tell you people. I mean, I played it, I beat it, but I feel bad for myself. So that's a game I most definitely am not really. I'm not a fan of that game. I honestly think it's shit. To be honest with you, I think it's one of the worst. I mean, we even had Umbrella Corps. We got Raccoon City. We got a lot of shit, but that one was just, for that one to be a legit number Resident Evil, that one was kind of bad. And I really think that was a really bad move. And so I don't even really remember when Resident Evil 6 came out, but for a good few years, it really kind of left a really bad taste in Resident Evil. It really left a bad taste in my mouth as well. And so honestly, with 7 coming out, I'm really hoping that, for one, this isn't gonna be no short game. That's one thing I'm not a fan of. But here's a few things I'm really hoping to see in Resident Evil 7. And one of them is being the whole PT feel. Now obviously we are not getting PT. That's obvious. You know, everybody and their mother made that quite clear that, hey, PT was about like 70 or 60% done. Guess what? It's canceled. It's gone. And we're not gonna get it. So obviously, I don't know if Resident Evil kind of was like, well, shit. Well, since PT ain't coming out, fuck it. You know, let's cope on that. We know people want that game. We know people want Silent Hills. So hey, how about we make something similar? I don't know if that was Capcom's idea. In my opinion, I don't really know. But I don't really know when Resident Evil even got started, because I know there was a kitchen demo that came out that people was playing on the floor, but it wasn't like a full. They didn't tell nobody it was Resident Evil, but it very was like kind of like the start of it. So it could have been right around the same. It could have been around the same time as PT, but I kind of really want the PT vibes in terms of like the feel, the atmosphere. You know, I don't. It's kind of already shown that we're gonna get kind of stalked by some ghostly lady. Personally, I can't find her in this demo at all. It's such a pain in the ass. It's such a pain in the ass, and it's so fucking like for a split second. It's not worth it in my opinion. But you can most definitely find videos if you want to see her. I think it's like she shows up at least 7 times, obviously. But she shows up about 7 times in this demo through here and through the present. So we do get stalked by some ghostly figure. So obviously that part is kind of got a checkbox off in terms of PT feels. But another thing I actually want to kind of want is the way that PT would have had his puzzles. Now the actual PT demo, it's almost impossible to like complete. And what I mean by impossible, to the point to where like it's not really worth it to a lot of people. It's like it's just doing way too much for some people. You know, obviously the game is gonna be that hard, but you know, we know Silent Hill has puzzles. Some puzzles have drawn people insane. I know the very first game, if you play like on the hardest difficulty, I believe it has a ridiculous puzzle, just ridiculous to all hell. But hopefully, Resident Evil 7, the puzzles. Because Resident Evil 7 is also known for its puzzles, but nothing never too like big. But its puzzles always kind of been up there. But like I said, but nothing never too crazy. But I'm hoping with this one, it actually might up it. Like we might actually get some crazy shit in this one, and it's one of the things that hopefully this game takes more of like the scare factor instead of like the all right, let's kill constant enemies left and right, and let's just kind of go into like a you're in this house, you have to escape from this crazy family, and hopefully it takes a lot more of like the place of it. Like it looks like we're in some type of bayou, something like that. So I'm really hoping that we get to see a lot of the actual house itself. Not a lot of backtracking per se, because Resident Evil 1 most definitely was huge on its backtracking. It was a good thing, but I just kind of hope that this house will be big enough to the point to where it's like, if we do have to backtrack, it's a good backtrack and not like a man, I think I went to the wrong door and I gotta fucking go back upstairs. I gotta go back downstairs. I gotta go up in the basement. I gotta go back upstairs. I'm personally not a fan of that. Like I said, Resident Evil 1 was awesome though. So I'm just really hoping for some PT feels. Another thing I'm actually really, really hoping to see is this game actually be a sequel. Because obviously, 6, shit hit the fan in 6. Another outbreak occurred in 6. So, and obviously, and it was, and I believe that they said this is after 6. So I kind of want to see or hear them kind of talk about the outbreak, because this will be like the second or third outbreak that hit. So I kind of want to hear about how are people dealing with this outbreak. Obviously, when you see the trailers, it don't really seem like this dude isn't some survivor of an outbreak. He seems like a regular old dude, a reporter. So I actually kind of want to see how people dealt with these outbreaks that occurred. Obviously it wasn't all over the world, but when the zombie outbreak hit, even if it is like in a smaller big city and it's just in that city alone and doesn't really spread that much, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be something people gonna talk about. So I'm actually really hoping that the outbreak itself kind of get discussed and kind of how they dealt with everything. I'm not asking to see Leon or Chris make an appearance or nothing like that. I do want this to be its own separate thing. And, kind of build up, kind of create their own characters. But obviously, with something that big, I do want to hear something about it. That's just me. So that's another thing. I do want to hear, and I do want to know that this is a legit sequel. That this is in the same world as the other Resident Evils. If they can at least, obviously Umbrella is going to be in here, so that's one thing that can already get pointed out. But hopefully, we get to hear about the outbreaks, even if it is Raccoon City. But at least let us know something. Another thing I would love to see is bosses. Now, Resident Evil has been huge on its bosses. I'm talking about like I've loved its bosses. Resident Evil 6. One thing I wasn't a fan of with its bosses in the Leon campaign was the boss was actually the same guy over and over again, just different forms. And sadly, it might be the case with this one, with the Baker family, because we constantly see like us fighting against this one dude, particularly in like different scenarios. And so like I wouldn't mind that per se, because obviously this game isn't gonna be as huge as Resident Evil 6, where it's like you're like in this all out gunfight where sometimes you may just have to run from this guy. But I would love to see bosses in this. I know a lot of people may not be too much of a fan of the fact that there's monsters in this. I know a lot of people probably want it to be a lot more kind of not too crazy, but a little bit more down to earth. Not like not to the point to where it's like you're fighting all these giant creatures, but obviously just like that, that just kind of want to fight like this crazed family that obviously is a little bit more superhuman than what they need to be. So I'm trying to think. No, I don't go up there. But yeah, I actually would love to see some bosses. I would love to see each of the Baker family have like their own like little section, their own like little mini boss fight, or a boss fight in general, whichever one works. It doesn't matter. It was another demo that not a lot of people get to play, But when they did get to play it, it's kind of like you kind of deal with like his wife who just punched the living shit out of me. You kind of like you deal with his wife for like a good little bit in the house, so it's kind of weird. So it's kind of like maybe we get like their own little sections with each person. We know there is their son. We know they have a ghost daughter, and we know that there's an old as shit grandmother. I don't know if the old as shit grandmother gonna have her own house. She just follow around in a wheelchair all day, being creepy. Who knows? But bosses will most definitely be something I would love to see. And this thing is some. I'm pretty sure that's the wife, the mother, and not so much the daughter. But another thing I would actually love to see. I think I'm actually gonna replay this so I can actually do the whole demo itself. Yeah, bad ending. It's alright. But another thing I would actually love to see is I want to go outside of the house. You know, like I kind of want to like explore a lot more than just the house itself. Because I mean, if we do only stay in the house, that could be fine. But me personally, like it could be one of those things where it could be like Resident Evil 1, where it's like you this house got like one huge ass basement lab, and you know you got to fight off even more creatures. But obviously, we don't know what Raccoon City really is up to, and we don't even know what the hell this Baker family even is. We don't know. Obviously, they're not human at this point. If you've seen the trailers, then you know at least the main Baker he isn't human. So well, at least we know that point. But let me just beat this. So far from the little stuff we know that we don't know if it's this guy per se that we're playing as. I don't know it. We don't really know. But we do know we play as this guy who's looking for his girlfriend or wife, whichever one, doesn't really matter. And he kind of looked for her because he got this videotape or he got a message from her saying that, hey, some shit going down. You need to be ready. And it's like, okay. So I'll just blitz through this real quick. Come on. I don't even remotely even know all the things that's even in this. I wouldn't know how to get the axe. I don't know how to get the bobby pin. Man, it's just so much. You know, people were trying to figure out what the dummy finger was all this time, and then they said, oh, well, the dummy finger has meaning now, but I didn't really see much meaning for the dummy finger. So, like, so does the dummy finger really have meaning, or are y'all just bullshitting? Like, what's up? So. Now, I'm really curious to see, are we going to play as, like, constantly different players? Because in the second demo, people got to play on the floor was but people got to constantly play. You play as a chick, and then obviously we play as a camera crew. So I'm actually curious. I actually forgot how do you fucking right. But I'm actually wondering if you play as several different characters. I mean, obviously you're gonna probably play as this dude mainly, but I actually wonder if you're actually gonna get a chance to actually play. You know, like kind of like a prologue, because obviously the video is a prologue before what happens here. But I actually wonder if we actually get to play a little bit more, if we get to see the events through other people's eyes. So obviously the Resident Evil 7 for it to come out so fucking early, we really don't know a lot at all, which is good. Obviously, the Baker family is a very interesting family. So that's just my opinion. That's just things I kind of want to see in the new Resident Evil 7. If you guys honestly, if you guys want to talk and discuss, that's fine. But leading up to Resident Evil 7, I'm actually going to kind of give my discussion on the rest of the Resident Evils 0 through 6. And then when 7 come out, probably going to give it like a week or so. Probably going to beat it. And then I'm probably going to also give my discussions on that. But these are the hopes, you know. Hopefully we get to see this as a legit sequel to the point to where it's like it's not a full-on reboot. The Resident Evil universe is still there. So, yeah. So, if you guys liked it, let me know. If you didn't, hey. But, thank you very much.